Madame Tussbells. If Sholmes told you not to tell me, why did you tell me then? Museum of Waxworks. Horrifying. What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes, but why are the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murderers. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight. There are wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruno? Shocked? Wax models? Ah! I read about dead bodies and wax ones in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn into wax, apparently. It's called adiposer. Stop talking about creepy things like that, Bruno. You're scaring me. Anyway, adiposer doesn't form readily, you know. It's only in very What now? I've just remembered something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. Oh. Bruno, you read too many magazines about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display. None of the exhibits here are real. They are all entirely man-made replicas. They can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them. So realistic. Oh. There's no way anybody could make models of people that are this realistic. And they are all such gruesome scenes. Oh. Sholmes? Wait. What is it? Oh, no. I must be seeing things. What is this? What is this? That is very disconcerting. Sholmes, hello. Long time no see. This one's real, right? That's not a wax figure, is he? Maybe he is. Is this some infamous murderer? Yes, called Jing the Ripper. All her victims were young women. I knew it. You can tell by the way she's holding that knife. Sure sign of a murderer. Well, yes. What's the matter, Bruno? I've worked it out. I know what she's doing. She's trying to fill that bathtub with blood so that she can have a soak in her victim's gore. Why would she do that? Not according to the information about the exhibit on the little board here. It doesn't mention anything about a bathtub. Really? Sorry, I don't think it's significant. I still think it has to be there for a reason. Jane the Ripper. She looks like an evil stepmother. Please do not touch the statues. Right, that's fairly reasonable. What about this figure here? These models are so well made, I can't tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human. Maybe. All of the exhibits are real people, and when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about. Just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already and I was on my way home. But this one's real, right? This is a real person, like a guard. And who is this murderer? Is this an example of Western tsujigiri? Tsujigiri? What is that? I don't know what that is. You know, when an unscrupulous samurai randomly attacks a passerby to test his sword? I still don't know, no. But actually, a waxwork samurai would probably be hugely popular. Could you model it, do you think, Bruno, doing that tsujigiri thing you mentioned? Well, I do have a sword, but I have no intention of testing how sharp it is on a human subject. For now, at least. Can you imagine that the Asuri clan wouldn't be too happy about me using their precious family heirloom sword? It's the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here? Really? That's a real human. Oh, well, he is world famous after all. It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it. I know. But look, Bruno, you can kick this Holly and he doesn't move a muscle. Iris. Oh wow, oh god. You can't go around kicking the exhibits. I will. Wait. It just moved, I'm sure. And not just a little bit either. Really? Did it? And look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look, there's a great murder scene to enjoy. Much more appealing. My dear fellow, I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner if you've seen something truly abhorrent. Mr. Sholmes! I knew it. Iris, what possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? And that kick, could you not have exercised a little more restraint? You whined at me. But Bruno has something he needs to ask you. A question? And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. So here we are. Wait, you get paid by pretending to be a waxwork figure or something? Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes more being stationary like that, and my great brain upon which all my success has been built would have turned to wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss. Oh, Harley, you do like to talk nonsense, don't you? He could know something, it's true. About Lord Van Zeeks and what happened in the past to change him. Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? For you're in luck. I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Oh, well, actually, I'm in quite a hurry. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that it is related to the matter about which you've come to me now. Really? But how could it be? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow, but for now I must return to my work. What? Back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? Okay, I think the game wants me to investigate this thing, whatever this is. Is this an arm? It looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the waxwork models has fallen over. You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murderers in here, do you? Bruno, stop scaring me! Is it a wax arm or a real one? Come on, you're always pointing that finger of yours in court. Poke that arm now and see how it feels.
Objection. Objection. That big heavy curtain is in a very prominent position, isn't it? I have a nasty feeling there's going to be something truly terrifying behind it.
Oh yes, and that's the famous Turnabouts special exhibit. It depicts one of England's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee and have a look?
Pay more money to be even more terrified? Oh, let me think about that for a moment.
It was only a suggestion.
Okay, the game does not want me to look at that arm. Okay, then we'll talk to Sholmes, I guess. What is this place? Madame Turnabouts came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London. There are museums like this. There are museums like this in Japan too, but these displays are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they? The extreme realism of these waxwork models is a particular secret of the Turnabouts family, they say. They earned renown during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims of the guillotine. That sounds grim. The gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expressions of the faces of the condemned.
Apparently, the sculptors would make the models directly from the corpses right there at the site of the executions.
Holy crap. That really turns my stomach. That's just one of several legends about the Turnabouts family. Whether there's any truth in it, I couldn't say. But anyway, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum by quite some margin is this House of Horrors. House of Horrors? Of course, visitors' numbers are dwindling now as a result of the Great Exhibition. But people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals and their gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows. So they've even stiffer now than the models of them. Have you heard of poor taste? My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste, they yearn to be shocked. So, the hideous exhibits in here are...
They're all portrayals of real events that actually took place.
Is it just me, or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? Anyway, I'd advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. Oh, he's back to being a waxwork. Why are you doing this? Are you short on money? I can lend you some money. Actually, I don't have money either. What do you mean by a temporary waxwork, Mr. Sholmes? Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibits here, catching these criminals in the act. Catching them? Every half an hour I home in on a different killer in one of the displays and adopt a new pose to ensnare him. When members of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake. For a shilling, I happily allow them to take a photograph with us. Us? Does he mean him and the waxwork murderers? But why, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, isn't it obvious? For the money. You really roared at me there. Very fitting for the House of Horrors. As it stands, I might struggle to pay this month's rent, and I have the ravenous iris to consider.
Oh, Hurley, I'm so hungry.
If push comes to shove, I shall have to ask you to do your bit, Mr. Naruhodo. What's he threatening to rope me into now? So, with that in mind, how about a photograph? As a special treat, you may have your pick of the murderers and scoundrels in here. The choice is yours, for a shilling. Maybe some other time. Huh! Remember, Mr. Naruhodo, ignore me at your peril. Yeah, I live with him after all. Back to being a waxwork again. Is it just me, or did his final remark there sound a lot like a curse? Well, what is it you'd like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Van Zieks. Our friend Mr. Reaper. How did you find him? Well, I trust. And so I filled Mr. Sholmes in about everything I'd learned. About Lord Van Zieks, about Professor Hairbrain, and about a strange coincidence that they had been at university together. So I'm wondering what it was that happened to make Lord Van Zieks such a different person.
I was sure that you'd know, Holly.
You said there was something going on here in this exhibit hall before, that something was afoot, and that you believed it was related to what I wanted to ask you about. Mr. Sholmes? He suddenly clamped up. Well, it seems we've reached the unavoidable... Greetings. Oh! Hello? Where did she appear from? And what's she wearing? Did she look any more mysterious?
I hope you're appreciating my museum.
Sorry, have we? Mr. Sholmes, do you know this? Not again!
My apologies, I am Esmeralda Tuspels. This is my museum of waxworks.
What? You're the Madame Tuspels?
Bien sûr. They're only 26 years young, I might add.
Is that significant somehow?
I'm a madame in name only. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi.
Right.
Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks, or rather one waxwork in particular.
That'll be Mr. Sholmes then.
I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle. Next time you move from a designated exhibit, we'll be toil and trouble.
Holy crap! Ugh.
She sounds deadly serious.
That's a problem. How am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van Zieks now?
Let's not forget what Holly said before, about something being afoot. Right here, I mean.
Yes, I know, but...
I'm so curious. I want to know what's happening here.
Haven't we got enough on our plate already? Okay, hello. No. You did a great job with the waxworks, I have to say. Did you make all these waxworks, Madame Tuspels?
I did. I am the third generation of waxwork artisans, you know? Gosh! It was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Her fortunes were checkered, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution as she did. Now that is when she acquired a savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing lifelikeness. All these waxwork really do look as though they are alive. In fact, they look more alive than Hurley. What you see exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of the real people on which they are modeled. In the hours immediately following their executions, that is the secret to the extraordinary lifelikeness.
That sounds terrifying.
All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade par excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see.
Why could the public have wished for something less horrifying?
Do not fear.
Sorry?
This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you'll explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians. Something for every taste, I hope.
It was Iris who dragged me straight in here, come to think of it.
Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things.
So you're the one paying the great detective? What's the situation with that?
My temporary waxwork model. He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal.
Oh, what sort of proposal?
My dear madam, what these sparse exhibits need is the addition of a world-famous great detective. Or words to that effect. Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective.
It's great detective, actually. He's very specific about it.
Yes, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms.
Let me guess, someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services?
For a mere £500, I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment. Oh, what's to that effect?
Mr. Sholmes might have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch.
Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances.
Oh, you mean the Great Exhibition?
So we came to this current arrangement instead.
Surely he doesn't really need to do what he's doing though, does he?
I would think not, but he was very insistent.
I have a 50 shilling problem that must be resolved by the morning. By the morning?
Or words to that effect. It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem.
Is the consulting detective work not going so well? Can he not just pawn something else? I wonder, could I ask you something?
Bien sûr.
I'm just curious, is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps?
Whoever suggested such a thing to you?
Oh, well, it was your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me a little... Eh? He's gone?
A wax model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade.
Ah. There you are.
Leaving the exhibit again, when you should be working? Do you wish to be melted down?
My dear Madame Tussbells,
Save your reprimands, there are more pressing concerns.
the wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead.
Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police. Why ever not?
She's turned as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective, whose services you may employ for a mere 50 shillings. Though please be aware that I prefer... No, I insist upon payment in advance.
Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we?
Before I engage my analytical processes, I must ask you to clarify something, and to give me my money. What, pray, is behind the curtain?
That is the Tussbell special exhibit. There's an extra charge to see it.
Ah, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors? It must depict a special killer then, I presume.
Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder? Absolutely no. There's nothing amiss behind there.
Nothing amiss, madame? What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond before the situation worsens.
Yes, very well. I will draw back the curtains, but only a soupçon.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Just a gravestone. I must confess I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Tuskbar special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however... Wait, we know him! He was one of the jurors! Is the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor. Well then perhaps, Mr. Sholmes, that man on the floor is the ruthless killer himself. I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman, not even a waxwork in fact. What? As skillfully made as these waxworks are, they are always distinguishable from real humans. So, allow me to present my two conclusions. The first is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in this special exhibit.
Why would you say that?
And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. She looks as pale as candle wax.
I don't understand.
So, Madame Tuskbar, as you've agreed to my fee, you shall now have the pleasure to seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your badge. These are banknotes? In my estimation, some £200.
That is all my own money.
So what does this large sum of money reveal? Not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, it would seem, Madame Tuskbar. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that public notice. Waxwork for sale. Your business has hit hard times, it would seem. In short, you sold the infamous killer, the centerpiece of your special exhibit, for the sum of £200.
No.
Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Who is this portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, madame, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the £200. It would appear that you twisted this gentleman around your little finger most effectively.
Oh, what are you suggesting?
He rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of £200. Only when he came to hand the money over did it occur to him what extortionate amount he was paying. But the money was no longer in his hands. And the result? The scene we see before us. He collapsed in shock. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit fetched a killer price. We can only pray that a gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret. The question that arises then is, what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that problem for a moment.
You cannot possibly...
What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only to observe his neckerchief. Neckerchief? Such as is worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman currently investigating this museum. Wait, what? I know him well, in fact, it's Sergeant John Clay.
What are you talking about?
The man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's policing awards.
But...
Next we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with a particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely and he hasn't moved a muscle, almost in fact as if he were a waxwork.
But you...
Your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madame. I noticed it at once, of course. Observe. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious price tag. Threepence? A tragically low price, you might say. Though perhaps a going rate for aging waxworks, riddled with cracks. And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for exorbitant £200. Wait, what? The sort of plucky behavior that's sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard. Isn't that so, madame?
I do not.
Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the police and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit, and not a moment too soon. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Turnabouts is not happy about any of this. I see I've stunned you all into silence.
You have, Holly, you have. And you've obviously upset this young lady in the process. Her culture looks awfully hard.
If I could just bring up one point, Mr. Holmes. The notorious Naruhodo 1 point. I'm all ears, my dear fellow. According to your deduction, then, the special exhibit featured this old policeman. Wait, what? No, according to his deduction, this is an actual policeman, isn't he? So... that would mean that he's a particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't it? Eh? What am I even saying? I don't get it. The killer policeman Otomo. Sorry? It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital only last year. The police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the ether.
And it turned out the culprit was a policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Otomo.
So you mean that's who the sinister-looking old man there is supposed to be? Indeed, it is a particularly grim face, is it not? Oh, I mean the policeman that is sleeping, not the standing policeman. Okay. Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that odious countenance only too well. But is £200 a lot of money for a wax model? It would be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages, if that puts things in perspective. So it is quite a lot then.
Is there anything else you wish to add before I pour this over you? Before I melt you down?
That bubbling wax is looking more and more ominous.
The smell of all that molten wax is starting to worry me.
Mr. Sholmes did more or less just accuse her to her face, so I think I might have to call on your assistance here, Iris, if that's alright, to make some minor corrections to the great detective's great deductions.
Of course it's alright, we soon set things straight.
Well, let's get started then, shall we? Before Madame Tuspels vents her anger.
Just what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellow. So, Madame Tuspels, in accordance with our agreement, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work.
Okay. What does it reveal? Not here, at least.
She definitely looked in this direction, it's true. But I'm not sure she'd sell any of her waxworks even for £200.
Oh?
She must pour her heart and soul into making them, don't you think? Over and above the wax. If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything.
So she's looking at the gentleman, maybe. Maybe she stole it. For that much money, I would. But it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Well, anyway, I wonder if the £200 could have some other significance.
Let's follow that furtive glance and see if there's anything else.
There's the man who looks pretty rich. And that's the only thing we can click on. There's also a gravestone which we cannot click on. It seems this well-dressed gentleman is alive after all, not alive and kicking. And he's not a waxworker or model of a mass murderer.
I'm not sure I'd pay £200 for him.
I don't think the man's up for sale.
Well, anyway, it was a silly place to put him. Other museum visitors could easily trip.
I don't think the man was put there on purpose either. Oh. £200?
What's that note doing pinned on the wall there?
Oh yes, let's see. Dear Madame Tuspels, we've taken the prisoner from this room. The price for his safe return is £200. Have the money ready by noon on 23rd October.
What?
This is... They're holding her waxwork figure hostage? It's just like the sort of thing that's left behind when someone is kidnapped.
Yes, it's a ransom note.
Exactly.
Take that!
The significance of the £200 is revealed by that ransom note. Quite so, and we must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness, abducting a waxwork. £200 is no small ransom fee, yet you clearly intend to pay it.
The model in question has special importance, so I put together all the money we have.
In summary then, the £200 you have in your handbag is ransom money. Now let us explore the next curiosity. Okay, who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear this man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, keeping secrets is not your forte, okay? So if the waxwork was kidnapped, where does that leave us in terms of who this man is?
And we could just ask him when he comes around.
I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of deduction process errors.
Yes, you're right. Hurley's trying so hard, we mustn't let him down.
Well, there's little doubt that he suffered a shock. That much seems clear. But in that case, what's Madame Terspels trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. Long hair braid. Looks beautiful. There's a hand. She gonna try to do something with her hand? Ah! Oh my god! That's not her hand! It's a waxwork hand. Whose hand is it? Not that of the portly gentleman. Wait, the hand of this one, right? This police officer? They have the same skin color at least.
This is just Madame Terspel's right hand, isn't it?
Yes, it must be. I can clearly see her left hand after all.
Oh, but wait a minute. This is a left hand as well, look.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. Don't say such creepy things, Iris, please.
And it seems very stiff too. In fact, it's really hard.
You mean it's made of wax?
Take that!
What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the waxwork hand. Indeed, with a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow.
How could you?
The hand protruding from the button of your cape. It ought to be a right hand, but closer inspection reveals that in fact, it's a left hand. And somewhat masculine as well. In other words, it does not belong to you, madame. It is the hand of a waxwork model.
Ah! Some of the visitors to my museum can be troublesome. They meddle with the exhibits and cause damage.
So you mean that arm?
Yes, this gentleman saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir.
No small keepsake. Like taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms.
I'm afraid I had to teach the man a lesson.
You confronted the man and tried to take the arm back. And the result, the scene we see before us, he was knocked unconscious. A point we may need to revisit later, but for the time being, we have our conclusion. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit has been kidnapped. The question that arises then is, what has become of the waxwork? That did not change hands. The young man standing over there. According to Mr. Sholmes, the yellow neckerchief is a sign to other policemen that some crime is underway.
A way of communicating with his colleagues without revealing his identity, yes. It's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard.
And Jones just said it out loud. That Mr. Sholmes didn't hesitate to give away.
Well, covering secrets is in any true detective's nature, of course.
Right. Anyway, judging from Madame Tussbaud's reaction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly. Okay, who is this man? Ah, yeah, the arm belonged to this man. But we still have no idea who this man is. Right? What the? The man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be.
Oh, well, that settles that then.
Right, this isn't a real person at all. Oh, yeah, Sholmes said this was a real person. Yeah, I didn't believe him.
Isn't that his arm's been ripped up from the shoulder down?
His arm's been... Of course, that ties in with what we just found out.
Take that!
Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his shoulder stub. No such boneless humans walks this earth, of that I can assure you. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact, defying all odds, a waxwork model. I seem to remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Sholmes.
Never mind that. He has become quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man.
Naturally, what other explanation could there be? And it was this detective's arm that was pulled off by the man on the floor in the special exhibit, wasn't it? Next we turn our attention to the old man sat before him. I think that one's real, right? Or maybe, yeah, Madame Tussauds wants to save funds, so replace the real security guard with a waxwork figure. That would also make sense. A killer policeman called Ottermore, was it? Was he well known?
It was all over the papers last year, but I can't say I know what he looks like. It's a very low price though. 3 isn't much money.
Only enough for a few measly hours of gas. Yeah, in Mr. Garrideb's delightful lodgings, in fact. So this is the special killer taken from the special exhibit, is it? The waxwork that somebody stole from the museum and tried to ransom for £200. Him? No. Is this crusty old killer policeman Ottermore, really?
Perhaps we should have a good look around again and see if another idea crops up.
Oh, yeah, he's moving. There's another scarf on his arm. That's like the neckerchief the other policeman had. Look at this. The old man's tapping his foot like crazy.
He seems to be fast asleep though.
He's not tapping his foot consciously then, so you mean...
It must be a twitch.
Never mind that. The point is waxworks don't tap their feet.
Or twitch.
Look at his arm too. We've seen a scarf like that somewhere else around here, haven't we? It's a neckerchief. I don't believe it. It's a secret sign that lets other...
Oh, it's a secret sign that lets other detectives know some criminal activity is underway.
Yes, it's a slightly strange choice of outfit if he was trying to go unnoticed.
He must be a detective disguised as a policeman.
Or a detective disguised as a waxwork model of a policeman.
He doesn't look like he's clever enough to think of something like that though.
Perhaps you should try to be a little more polite about him, Iris. What are those assumptions here?
Take that!
The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious twitch. Even the most realistic waxworks do not exhibit a twitch. In other words, this splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard. A slight shift in your choice of adjectives then. And there you have it. Well, Madame Turnabouts?
Well, what? It was me who contacted police and demanded that someone come in the first place.
He is clearly
fatigued. He's sound asleep.
But then, what's this tag about showing a price of 3 pence?
No doubt the price tag of the muffler, which the old Barbie purchased recently at a local market. And I presume you've observed the scarf tied around his arm? Does that not strike you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, the secret sign used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is currently underway. I swear, if I have to say this phrase again, another time.
Of course, because as you know, there's been just such criminal activity happening here. As you deduced from the very beginning, Detective.
So it would seem that we finally arrive at the truth. The waxwork of the especially ruthless killer from the special exhibit has been kidnapped. And Scotland Yard are already investigating. But the model's whereabouts remain a mystery. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle.